welcome to LVS Perspectives number 72. This is a discussion with Will Manning. Will Manning, ex-pupil of LVS, left in 2008,
Yep.
and now an absolute superstar.
Working on it.
Capital Radio DJ. So Will, thank you for coming back. Thank you for talking to our year 9 and 10 this morning in the theatre. Lots of photos being taken.
Yeah.
Lots of questions about
lots of good questions.
your career. So what we're going to do, I'm going to just pass straight over to you. You've got a presentation for our parents today. Parents, if you've got any questions for Will, then please send them in via the chat. I've also got my phone on if you want to be more anonymous as well. So Will, I'll pass over to you.
Okay, wow, this is scary. So I did just do this presentation to year 9s and 10s, so it was aimed at the students, but this will give you an insight as to who I am, why I'm sat here right now, how I got there. I am Will Manning. I'm a DJ, presenter, producer, and as of last year, a signed artist as well with Sony Records. So this is a presentation about how I basically saw so many opportunities in my life and how I seized them all to get that record deal. And this is me at LVS on my last day in 2008. Yeah, the hair's got better. Would you say the hair's got better?
Yeah.
All of it's got better since then, to be honest, although that was a great day. And this is me at the very start. That's me saying, hey, hello, I'm Mr. DJ to my dad, aged 5. I wasn't a DJ. I was just a 5-year-old in my parents' lounge playing music, and my mum loved it. My dad not so much. He was always just like, yeah, okay, just stop, just turn it down. But I didn't listen to him, which I'm really glad about because it got me to where I am right now. So I always knew that I wanted to be involved in music in some way. I always thought I was a DJ, even when I wasn't. So here I am. Still trying to be a DJ. That was a bedroom DJ. So this is when I was at LV. I was making a CD there for a friend, which I probably gave to them at this very school. I went from a bedroom DJ to being a club DJ. This was, at the time, Liquid in Windsor. So I kept it really local. And then this is me, beginning of life. Inspired by so many people I was listening to daily on the radio, on my way into school, in my mum's car as well. And then I decided to set up my own mobile disco company, aged 8. I did it with a friend, so we made £40. And I realised, well, I don't want to split that money, so I will just do it on my own. So I never worked with him again, and I made the rest of the money for myself. Because I was like, I could have made 40 quid, but I made 20. So yeah, by the age of 8, I was doing that, and word spread locally, and I put a lot of hours in my bedroom, just working on my craft and really just honing in on that skill. That is what I'd spend every bit of free time doing after school, weekends, etc. And then took it really seriously, got into club DJing, did even more like bigger 18ths, and I'd be paid more money, and I'd invest that money into more equipment, and it all kind of snowballed. Wanted to level up, so I continued making mixes, which I handed out to friends and clubs. And then all these opportunities led to even more opportunities, which led to even more opportunities. So this is what this is about. It's how I seized those opportunities. Such as this, when I was 15, I entered a competition which was hosted by Kiss FM. And that was the radio station I listened to on the way into this school, every day on the school bus. And I would tell everybody on that school bus that one day I would be on Kiss. So I entered a competition. I remember being by the lockers, getting the phone call that I was through to do this, by the way. And the guy on the right is a guy called DJ Swerve, and he was my idol at the time, my DJ idol. So I kept in touch with him, and I made good contacts at Kiss, which led me to an invitation to this, which was the Kiss Music and Radio Workshop. And this guy is called Manny Norte, another amazing DJ I loved. And he was like, do you want to do work experience at Kiss? Which, of course, I said yes to. So that summer, I went in and I sorted out the mail, and I booked presenters' taxis and all the admin stuff, but I made even more contacts. So I seized that opportunity to make more contacts in radio, which eventually led me to getting my own radio show. Not at Kiss, but at BBC Radio 1 Extra when I was 16. I was their cover guy, which was amazing, but I was rubbish. I was absolutely useless. So I, after a year, stopped doing that. Felt a bit disgruntled. I was like, I don't really know what to do next. I've kind of burnt all my contacts. They've seen that I'm not that great. So I applied for a job online for a station called The Hits Radio, which is based out of Manchester. And I worked for free for a very long time. I recorded it in the Kiss office until I moved to Manchester to do it full time. But whilst recording it in the Kiss office, I approached the boss of KISS saying, hey, I did work experience here a couple of years ago, you may remember me. And that led to me getting the evening show on KISS a few years later, which ended up being the #1 evening show in the UK for 3 years, which Capital didn't like. So they gave me a phone call and over I went to Capital. And then I got the opportunity to host the UK's biggest chart, which I've been doing for coming up to 6 years now. And then through doing the chart show, I met some incredible artists and their amazing teams, and that led me to getting my own record deal at the start of last year. So I basically seized every opportunity I had in front of me just to elevate my career step by step, and that's where it got me to. So I was meeting all these people, Niall Horan from One Direction, KSI, big YouTuber, Olivia Rodrigo, Calvin Harris, bottom right, and I would make friends with their team basically and just want to learn more and more and more about the music industry and how it actually works, because I was so inspired by all these DJs that were coming onto my show that were DJing on a different level to me. You know, I was a DJ, but I wasn't playing these massive shows, so I wanted to know how I did that, and it was all about, well, you have to bring your own music out. So I studied music in my spare time, started writing melodies, and just elevated my radio career to get me an artist career. Made some amazing contacts at these labels, like I said, and next minute I was signing a record deal. So once I've got the record deal, last year I realised that collaboration is key, because I'm not a guy who can do it all. I can't play the piano, I can play the drums, I can write melodies, I can write some pretty good songs, but collaboration is key. So I realised I need to pull in other people with the strengths of, you know, really making these songs the best they can be. So I messaged people on Instagram, kind of put myself out there, let them know that I was signing this record deal and I would love to get in the studio with them, would love to know how we can make this work together, how I can use their strengths and we can pull together to make some music. And since last year, I've been building my dream team to make future hits. That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, right, how can I make the next best hit record with the best people I've got around me? So again, seizing opportunities at every opportunity that's been in front of me with meeting people. And this is how it works. This is the basic structure. I've got me, I have a manager, I work with a load of songwriters, there's a load of producers, I've got an A&R, which is artist and repertoire. I will send them my songs and they will sort of go, yeah, work on that, or I think this is one we can leave. Then there's a marketing team and the PR team, and that falls under Sony RCA. So they all work internally, aside from my manager, on my project. So my thing was finding my sound, because, you know, there's so many DJs out there. I was listening to on the bus on the way into this school in the early 2000s that was played on KISS. That's the music that makes me feel something. So I had to go back to my roots, because I did release a song last year called Don't, last summer, and it was amazing. It did okay, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. Here's an example of me recording the vocals last year. I'll play this for you. Oh, okay, well this is the song coming out at midnight. Music and Spotify in my kitchen. Couldn't quite believe it.
Just staring at myself. Crazy. iTunes.
Yeah, kind of cool. Here's the vocals being recorded. Yeah. So we recorded the vocals at a slower speed and then, you know, pitched it all up and everything. And it was great, and it was an amazing first experience of releasing a record, but looking back, it wasn't the sound that I really wanted to do. It was what people thought I should do, because I'm on Capital, they thought I should make a pop dance record, but really, I want to make these big, anthemic, stadium filler dance songs. So, with my A&R, we've worked on a new brief, and this is where I want my music to take me. A stage like that, Ushuaia in Ibiza. I go every single summer. I watch my king, my idol, Calvin Harris play live, and that is when I'm happiest, and I want my music to take me there as well. So this is the new brief that me and my A&R got down, and this is what we send out to producers and songwriters, so they get a really, really clear indication of what the music should sound like. So it's big, it's expansive, it's headline, it's stadium filler, it's fireworks, it's arm around your best friend on a summer's night in a field, having the time of your life. It's huge music. That's what we're trying to make. It's joyful, it's dramatic. It's very different from Don't. But what I've told a lot of students today is you can start here, but you can end up here, and that's fine. It's not always A to B. Sometimes you got to make a diversion along the way, and that's all right. You can get forgiven for your, not mistakes, but direction along the way. It can change always. So what's next? So I'm building from that new brief. That's where I'm at right now. Me and my label met yesterday. We're discussing how the rest of the year looks. I'm going to keep on creating always, try new things out. Even though I've got laser focus on where the music is, I'm still open-minded. Working with new people, that's my absolute favourite thing. Always being inspired by them. Hopefully all of that leads to big international shows and festivals, and from that, keep seizing the opportunities that are in front of me, because every day there's new ones. I'm always meeting new people. And as you've seen, every time I've met someone new, it's got me somewhere new myself. So those opportunities in front of me are crucial. Shall I play a bit of a new song? So I played a demo today for the first time that no one's heard to the students. Let's see if it works. There you go. So that gives you an idea of the new sound. That's a first day demo from the studio, but it's big, it's anthemic, and that's kind of where I'm trying to take my music. So yeah, that's how I seized every opportunity and got me to being on a live stream right now.
That's fantastic, and thank you for sharing that with us. I've got loads of questions for you.
Great.
And come on, parents, if you've got any questions for Will, send them through as well. So just starting with the music there, which is just fantastic, and talk about Ibiza. It reminds me of that, that film, Kevin and...
Yeah. I used to love that.
Kevin and Perry Go Large.
Yeah.
Is that the scene? Is that what it's like? Because I mean,
no, it's not really like that. It's Ibiza's a really interesting place, but it is still the place that every DJ wants to say they've played.
Yeah.
It's magical. Every summer it's magical, yeah.
And so you say that was in a field. How many thousands of people are there at the time?
Oh, that's like 5,000 people every night.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And obviously that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
You'll be there quite quickly. That music's great. So that demo, that's not out. No one's heard that yet.
No. There you go. And it may never come out. This is the thing, you just keep creating. And you just have to wait for the whole team to be like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can fall in love. I try not to fall in love with something too much because not everything can come out.
Yeah.
But that one I'm pretty passionate about.
Do you ever disagree with the people that are giving you advice? Do you ever
All the
kind of
time.
say, like, no, I love that one?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Because again, it's coming from me, so obviously I'm going to love it way more than anybody else.
Yeah.
But until you have everybody on board, you're not really allowed to bring anything out.
Well, I suppose it's got to be a team effort.
That's it.
Everyone's got to be on the journey, haven't they?
They're the ones paying, so...
And those two clips that you played, that both of those female vocalists were absolutely incredible. Are they well-known vocalists? Are they?
No. So the people who are on that demo and my first single are just called session singers, basically session writers, session singers, the ones who are in the room making the music with me on the day. We demo it up, and they often get replaced by the bigger names.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of keen to keep people like that on the song.
Yeah.
Because it brings new people up. Well, and if that can be my thing.
They're very talented as well, aren't they?
Exactly. They deserve to be there. They sound incredible. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're with Sony, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big of all the labels, I don't know much about record labels, but that is probably the one that I would recognise.
Yeah.
So how did it actually happen?
So I interviewed. So like I said, I was doing the chart show. I do the chart show, and I meet all these people. And one of the interviews I did, I said to one of the managers, "Oh, do you want to go for a drink? You know, I'm not doing anything after the show. Should we catch up?" And he was like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "I really want to. I'm inspired by people that you manage. I want to be doing that myself." And he was like, "Let's make it happen. Let's do it."
That's incredible. And like what you were saying, and you've always been persistent with networking and talking to people.
Yeah,
I think that's a
constantly.
big message to our kids as well, you know, the value of networking. Because if you didn't invite them out for that drink and have that conversation, it probably would have closed the
That's
door.
it. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I went for that drink. It
Yeah.
changed everything. It changed
Yeah.
my life, that drink.
Well, it just shows you, doesn't it, what can happen.
Yeah, that's it.
And
You just have to
Sony-
put yourself in those situations.
Sony's international as well. So is your music played in other countries or is it mainly in the UK?
So it is played internationally. I've signed a UK deal.
Yeah.
So every country has their own side of the label, but I'm signed to the UK division.
Yeah.
I don't have a US label yet, but it is played internationally. Yeah.
And do you find that, I mean, with music, obviously, whatever culture you're in, it's an appreciation of that genre, isn't there?
That's it.
It's not as if you're playing to different cultures.
That's it.
You've got a huge market there. If you
Yeah.
pull this off, we
I
won't be
know.
able to get you back again.
No, I'd always come back. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. It's and yeah, dance music reaches everybody, and you know that demo to me makes me feel something. I always say, what does it make me feel? Do I get a feeling? And that's universal, isn't it? That's a human feeling. That's not a taste. That's undeniable to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what dance music does really well.
So if you had a pie chart of the hours in the day of Will Manning, okay, how many hours a day or week do you spend composing?
So most mornings are spent. So I'd say about 4 hours a day.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And so well, we had a composer a couple of weeks ago who said he very much follows a 9 to 5 regime with working on composing. You the same, like up at 8?
I try and get up early because my radio show doesn't start till 4, so I have got the whole morning. There's no excuse really, but
Yeah.
some mornings you just don't feel like being creative.
No.
And then some projects you don't want to come back to because you're sick of it and you start a new one. Every day is kind of different, but I like to finish things. I don't like leaving things unfinished. So that demo, I'm desperate to finish it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what a waste.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm desperate to finish things.
So what equipment do you have at home to compose?
So Logic Pro, and it's literally this laptop,
Yeah.
a little keyboard, and then when I go into the studio, because I don't have a studio at home, when I go into the studio, I collaborate with other producers who bring their specialities, which could be a new chord progression, because you know that's not my strength necessarily. I kind of made a point of that as well. Collaboration is key. I can't even play the piano. So I need people to bring all these things in.
It must be so exciting working with other people with different skills as well, bringing it
Love
together.
it. I
hear
absolutely love it.
They bring your music alive.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in that either. A lot of people pretend that they're doing it all themselves, which is... I kind of understand it because you want to believe in that artist, but at the end of the day, you can't be good at everything.
No. And how much preparation do you have to put for your chart show or your daily job, which is, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah. So I get in at work at 3 p.m. I've got a producer who will produce the show, and my job is to basically execute that. But obviously I bring my stories and I bring my flair, my personality to the whole thing.
So I hear one of our kids has got you to give a shout out this afternoon.
Yeah, I've made a note. Bailey.
Bailey.
4:15 this afternoon, he's getting a shout out on Capital, yeah.
Oh, that's really
I've
lovely.
made a note to remember
I'm going
it.
to have to make sure I record that as well. That's fantastic. And and you interview people on your show, don't you?
Yeah, on the chart show every Sunday.
Yeah. So what's the best person you've ever interviewed?
Best person? Oh God, I get asked this all the time and I never have an answer. Most people are great, is the honest truth. Most people are really great, and I love meeting everybody because they all bring something different. I don't think I could give you a name.
Is there somebody who, when you've seen the name like on the sheet that you're given, and you've gone, oh wow?
Yeah, like a Taylor Swift, for example.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
Was that quite recently, or?
That was about 5 years ago now, but she was amazing. The US acts don't come around as much anymore because they can do it on Zoom.
Oh, of course.
But they're still great. I get up at 5 a.m. quite a lot to do LA Zoom calls, and we record it for the chart.
Yeah.
We have a lot of access. We're really lucky.
Yeah,
There's probably not. You could probably name a name, and I've probably spoken to them.
Yeah.
It's that good.
And do you wake up in the middle of the night and you've got a really good idea for a song? Get up and do it
all the time. I was just saying to some of the students to voice memo. They were like, "How do I have these ideas? What do I do?" I'm like, write them down on a notepad, on your phone notes, or voice memo melodies, which I do all the time. If I played you my voice memos, it's just like insanity.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even remember what this is, but sometimes there's gold in there. I'm like, that's really nice. And they've made some great demos.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And what's the trickiest part of the job?
Trickiest part of the job is being a part of a massive machine. It's very, very tough. I was saying to you earlier, you know, I'm signed to RCA, who has Justin Timberlake, Jay-Z, Beyonce, SZA, who's a massive artist, Mimi Webb, who's a huge UK act, and then there's me. You know, these guys are doing great things, and you have to fight for the attention, I guess, of the record label sometimes. It's really, really, really hard work. You need a hit, basically. You always need a hit, otherwise, what's the point?
But often when you look at there's some great films at the moment about great artists, isn't it? And the struggle that they have, and the times that they try and don't get there, and then suddenly, I saw the Bob Marley film.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I need to see it.
And it just shows you the early years. They were at record producers, and obviously they were playing the music, and it was pretty much what everyone else was doing. And they were being told to go. Yeah. And then as the guy walked out the door, they started just playing their own stuff, and he walked back, and that was it.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
So it just takes one, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Just takes one.
They wouldn't have signed you in the first place if they weren't interested in, you know, Will Manning and what's going to happen next.
Yeah, for sure. You just have to keep motivating your team, really.
Yeah.
Because obviously Don't came out last summer, and it didn't do what everyone thought it would do. I think there was a lot of expectation that because I'm on Capitol, it would suddenly get playlisted straight away, and it doesn't work like that. So kind of had to get the team back on my side, really, and kind of start again. So it's really, really, really hard. And there are days where I'm just like, why am I doing this? But then there's days when you come to LV and you see kids that are inspired by what you've done. You're like, oh, that's why I do it.
That's what's lovely about working in a school, because you know, people like yourself will inspire them, and you never know who we might be growing in that pool there.
I love it.
Now, I remember when I was a kid, I used to listen to the chart show, and they'll show me age now, and you know,
who was doing it?
Who was doing it? Well, do you know what? I can't remember, but I remember it used to be on a Sunday evening.
Pat Sharp?
I don't know. I'm going back a long time now. I used to always listen to it, but it used to be who could sell the most 45s or whatever. And now it's totally different. Yeah. Like, because you could see things how they were going to progress and become number one. You know, I mean, in my day, I used to listen out for Donny Osmond. That's going to show you how long ago this is, right? So now it can change overnight, can it?
TikTok is a game changer. Yeah. The record labels look at TikTok, and it could be the most unknown art. In fact, I see it all the time in the chart. It's the most. I'm like, who? They're number 5. I've never heard of them. It can be a story that just goes viral because the arc is beautiful and people buy into it. It could just be a sound that people use and it just goes. Unsigned music is almost as big as signed music at the moment. It's pretty powerful.
And what's the impact? Like, you know, because it could be someone has turned that around in their room on a Wednesday night.
There's no money involved in these things.
By Sunday, they're a household name.
Literally, yeah.
Right, so it could
Simple
be
as that.
Technically life-changing, or they might just disappear back into the ether again, do they?
That's what I was going to say. The thing I've seen is that these people often have one hit. And the record labels made the mistake, and they have got better at this in the last year. They made the mistake of signing these songs because they were massive, pumping a load of money into it, and the artist didn't have a follow-up. It was just a one-hit wonder kind of thing, and they didn't develop the artists. You know, they got them from the song, and there was no follow-up, and the follow-up wasn't as good, and it all falls apart. So really, you know, it's good for a song, but it's not good for artist development.
No. And is it still? Do you still work back from 100 to 1 now, or is it
40 to 1?
40 to 1.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'd be a very long show.
Yeah, and when is it decided?
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
It's like locked down, and then we do the show from 4. Yeah.
Right, that's brilliant. So, and is there sometimes when you have to look at that list and go, I don't know what that is, or
yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Totally. This is what I'm saying. There's songs in the top 5. I'm like, I've never, and they're like, oh, it's TikTok. I'm like, wow, okay, that must have happened in the last week.
Yeah.
And it is that instant.
But it makes it exciting though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a really exciting time to do the chart. Because back in the day, number 1s or top 10s would stay there for months. And now it's like you're in one day, you're out the next. So it's always changing.
And are there the same people, are there some big top artists that keep coming back like in the old days?
Yeah.
You know, I really must listen to your show. I'm going to listen on Sunday.
You'll understand who's doing
a
what.
bit more.
Yeah. But there's like, you know, the constants right now are Beyonce's number 1. There's Olivia Rodrigo, who every teenager loves. There is like KSI, there's the DJ Joel Corey, Calvin Harris. Like these big names are constants, but peppered in between it are those people making songs in their bedroom. Yeah. Which is incredible.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. I mean, one is a guy called Casso. He made a song in his bedroom, went number 1 around the UK, nominated for a Brit on Saturday.
That's incredible.
He's 19.
So does he suddenly then have to turn up at a venue looking really smart?
Yeah. So the record label put everything like suddenly you've got a stylist and there's a PR machine behind you, and it's as simple as that.
That's amazing.
It's
isn't it?
crazy. It's crazy.
It's fantastic. So we haven't got any questions coming through, and I've asked you loads of questions. And Will said as we were walking around, he said, "Can I go and have a look at the lockers?"
Yeah.
I'm not sure how public we should have made this one actually. And we found where on his last day, and none of you or your children are allowed to do this, Will put his initials on the wall on the last day he left school.
Yeah.
And we found it. And what we're doing is we're actually getting our estates department now to go and put some plastic on it and a little plaque there. Yeah.
You see that?
They might not be able to see it.
That's my name.
Yeah. Oh, you
by my
can
locker.
see it.
Yeah.
And I've been here 20 years. And the amount of times I must have walked past there and I've not seen it. And your mate Jared is there as well.
Yeah,
so Jared, if you're out there, hello. Because Will's going to bring you back and you're going to come back and have a better walk around and some lunch in a lovely dining room as well. But, that must have been lovely seeing that today.
Honestly, just being here is incredible. I wish I could go around and tell all the students to like make the most of it because, I don't know, maybe I'm getting sentimental as I get older, but being back here is really special. It's really, really, like I had the best times of my life in this place. Met amazing friends. It's just and from speaking to you earlier, it's only got better. Like, I wish I was coming here now. It's just, the growth has been incredible, clearly. Yeah,
I mean, it's a great place, but it always has been, and I can still picture you in that room with the haircut.
Yeah.
This one's a lot better.
The Justin Bieber.
I've got some things here for you. I'm just going to show everybody that's watching as well, because we didn't have these here when you were here, but we've got our own teddy bears.
Oh wow!
Now, so I thought you'd like that, and we've got you an LVS mug, right?
That's cool. I need a new one of those.
And so make sure that when you're out and about, it's LVS Escort.
That's cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we've got you some other bits and pieces, and we've also got some chocolates for you. There's one for your mum and one for your fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so congratulations.
Amazing. Oh, thanks.
And
they're my favourite as well.
And also, couldn't be the licensed trade charity. We've got a bottle of wine.
That was my goal, great.
Yeah. So look, Will, it's been lovely having you here today. I know it's a short visit, but we'd love to see you again and bring back some of your mates as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And and we're looking forward to, and I'll tell you what, all right, you get on that stage in Ibiza, I'll be there.
Okay.
All right? Even at
You're
my
on guest
age,
list.
me and my old cronies, we will be there and we'll be dancing right in the front row.
Great.
So thank you very much and have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.